Hello everyone. You know, I always feel funny when I've mentioned an idea in a previous video. It's like the first time I drew one of these character sheets, I thought, oh, this will be, it's a lot of fun, I really had fun, and then second I've told myself that I've got to do it again next week. It's like it's suddenly a job, and I'm like, oh no, I need to get it done. I get all panicky. But I was lucky because a lot of you guys' comments were really positive and you came out with loads of really interesting ideas, and it was just a lot of fun, I guess, to hear all of your different inputs. Lana, Justin and Midnight X Cross were both talking about just let yourself go wild, let your imagination go free, just enjoy yourself a lot. And I thought, yeah, try and keep focused on that feeling. Only trouble was, letting your imagination go, you end up with 500 ideas. I did so many sketches before the one that you're seeing. I decided not to include them just because I can't talk long enough to cover all of it. So you'll just have to let your imagination go wild there. I was mostly focusing on lizards and birds. I was trying to look for some of a more angular variation of creature. Now, I also was kind of playing with the idea of making certain features longer or changing the body shape, but I did kind of want to keep it a more humanized version, kind of like the Mass Effect universe of aliens, just because I wanted to see how well my portrait drawing was going when it came to male characters as well as female, just as a frame of reference, so that, say in a year's time, I could go and draw another couple of aliens and just see the difference in how much my skill had gone, I guess. So like I said, my plan was to make the creature based on a lizard or a bird, but I just couldn't get it looking the way that I wanted. And I just thought, the whole point was supposed to be keeping up my imagination, doing different types of ideas, so I thought, why am I even going with an animal? So I decided, let's just go from organic and go into inorganic. And I thought, well, what if the alien was made up of some radioactive rock? Like a comet, and they're just held together, all of these rocky parts of them are held together by strings of muscle into this rough form of a body shape. And then from that idea I was thinking, well, if you had really strong areas of your body that were all connected by these really thin, delicate parts of your body without any skin that were just exposed, well, if that was what your body looked like, you'd have to wear armour to protect all of those softer parts. And then from thinking about armour, I was thinking, well, wouldn't it be interesting if there was an alien knight? If this guy was an alien knight who was travelling around space and protecting all of these powerful aliens, and I don't know, I wanted to call him something like a paladin and then rock / element name. So I was playing with Paladin Gypsum or Paladin Biotite or just something like that, but I just couldn't find one that sounded good to me, so I just stuck with Paladin in the end. I mean, that isn't the worst name, I guess. Maybe he'd heard of the word Paladin from living on Earth, or maybe he grew up on Earth and he decided to take that as his name going forward as a little nod back to his past. I don't know. I don't really want to go really into depth about his character in a lot of ways, just because I like the idea of keeping him quite loose and open. I mean, I personally always feel like the second the creator of something makes a comment about the work, it's always taken immediately as gospel. That's the only way that you can look at it because that's what the original creator said. I'm not saying that their point isn't important, but I know personally I'm far more interested in how other people interpret my work than what I'm just coming up with now off the fly that's just for fun. I don't want it taken too seriously, because it's always more fun to hear your guys' opinions, I guess. Well, for me it is, at least. Now, I kept to a digital painting again with this one, and a few things I kind of wanted to mention that I didn't in the last video, because I think they're really useful as techniques. Is, for one, I don't really like using black lines for my line art in these types of digital drawings and paintings. It's really because the black offers a bit too strong a contrast when you're trying to go a little bit closer to the realism with quotation marks around it style of painting. I like also seeing the scribble underneath. I know a lot of people don't, but I kind of like seeing the scribble and the rough work underneath drawings like this. And I think the reason they work and this image works a bit better at times is because when the lines are a colour rather than black, they appear a lot softer, whereas the black lines give it a very graphic, comic book feel, which works when you go in that type of style, but I think doesn't work as much when you're trying to give the air of it being softer and focusing more on like the texture than the line art, I guess. So yeah, if you're ever feeling that the line art isn't working, maybe try and do it in a colour rather than in black, and just see how it changes up the look of the piece of art. Also, I do try and make a colour palette to pick from while I'm painting. However, as you can see, I'm building up this red glow on top of the rocks that I created, but I don't know, it looked like lava to me, and I didn't want it to look like lava. It just kind of didn't work for me. I think because the greys and the lighter oranges and the reds are all kind of close together on the colour spectrum, it just made the image itself just not very exciting. So I took that softer layer that I'd been painting I wasn't as happy with, and I just kind of played with the hue up and down the slider just to see how different colours would look together and just really see which one got me excited about the image again. And when I saw it go to that kind of blue-green area, I thought, yeah, that's a really nice, like, sharp contrast. So I stuck with that and worked from there. I mean, it's a real nice benefit of digital painting that you can play around with something and just wait for the light bulb moment and just go, yeah, okay, that's the direction I should be going, which you just can't do with traditional art. Also, Doodle Stuff mentioned riding a creature, and the whole idea of a knight was already in my head, so I thought, what about some kind of space dust horse or something, maybe like a creature from this knight's planet of sentient radioactive rock. It would have these vapor creatures that they could ride and that they would see. I don't know, it was kind of building up from that idea, and I thought it would be a fun action pose to see him in. Honestly, not really sure how much I like that sharper blue on my vapor horse that I did. Again, I feel like maybe playing with the hue would have worked. I mean, I don't know, for me, like a pink or a purple I feel would have worked better than that darker blue, but you know, feel free to argue with me below. I mean, the pen's down, it's done. So that is how we will have to live, that horse, but yeah, in general, I think it went alright. I just want to say as well, thank you to you guys for leaving your thoughts and comments below, because they really added like another layer of fun to sketching these up in the end. You know, it was like you were all standing around my desk going like, oh, that could be really interesting, or oh, maybe think about it this way, and it made me approach it in a slightly different way that was just, yeah, it was just really fun to have this like altered perspective on how I wanted to go forward, and it was a nice contrast to how I approached Nebula. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for all of your input, and I hope you like how my male alien turned out too. I mean, also thinking on that idea of looking at things differently, Midnight X Cross also mentioned the idea of what if they'd been a couple, like what if Nebula and Paladin were a couple, and yeah, I don't know, I just think it's really interesting to sketch up characters like this. I probably would recommend, if you wanted to come up with your own characters or to come up with a story, to just start drawing a random character or a character sheet like these, because just by seeing them I think you immediately start putting a story onto the character, and I think it's a lot easier than just looking at a blank piece of paper and trying to come up with a story or an idea. It's just kind of sketching down two faces and then you almost imagine their story without even thinking about it. So I think it'd be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts on these two characters, whether it be a name or how you see them as a character, what you think they would be like, and whether it's inspired you guys to go off and try some different character sheet ideas and building up random characters and seeing where it takes you. Good luck for your drawings through this week, and see you again soon.